Well, throughout this year on Washington Watch, I've discussed the 11 pastors and ministry leaders wrongfully jailed in Nicaragua on sham charges after they led Christian revivals that reached more than 1 million people. Now, you may remember that those pastors received sentences ranging from 12 to 15 years in prison and were assessed fines of $80 million per person. Joining me now in studio with an update is Britt Hancock, missionary to Nicaragua with the ministry Mountain Gateway. Britt, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Thank you so much. It's a blessing to be here.
Well, I've been tracking you and I stay in touch, and so you text me various updates, and we're able to communicate. But give our viewers and listeners kind of what's been happening the last couple of months since you were last on the program.
Yes, thank you, brother. Congress continues to take action. Our coalition is building. I think more and more members are coming on. Representative Roger Williams' office, we met with his office today, so we hope that he'll also engage. We have 2 resolutions, one in the House and one in the Senate, that condemn Nicaragua and their actions in our case. We need those to pass. The Organization for American States is active. They've actually they've issued precautionary measures for the prisoners in favor of the families, and the UN, I think, is getting involved from a human rights standpoint. So those things are happy. You know, those things help us pressurize the government of Nicaragua. We thought we had them released, the prisoners, but for whatever reason that hasn't happened yet. We're hopeful, praying, fasting, and trying to get as many people as we can to call their congressman, because that really does help motivate them when they hear from their constituents.
What is fresh in front of members of Congress they will move on, and this is a compelling story. 11 pastors, I think 2 attorneys.
Yes.
That are in prison, still in prison. Have you had communication with them to see how they're doing?
0 communication, so we don't have any direct verified proof of life. As far as we know, they've still not been allowed to see any of their family members. It's like they're sealed away, you know, and so it's really not a good situation. And people have asked me like multiple times, what's your experience been like here in Washington? And I do know that we have our challenges, and we're fighting the good fight. I hear your efforts and so many others, but we still have separation of powers, and due process of law is not dead. And the reason that I'm sitting here is because we're dealing with a country that's down the road in communism and Marxist ideology, no due process of law, no separation of powers. And so I'm motivated, you know, for these kinds of issues. And just in a broader way for your audience, thank all of you for responding to all these issues and all these things, because if you don't resist, evil takes over.
That's right. It loves a vacuum. It'll fill it. How can people find out more and stay abreast? And I know you've got a prayer effort going on for these 11 pastors and these 2 attorneys. Where can people find out more?
Yes, you can go on our website, mountaingateway.org. There's links there to sign up for the our prayer branch, and you'll get updates, and you can also click the link for Nicaragua updates, and we'll get you in the loop.
Now, you and I believe your son, charges were filed against you, so you can't go back to Nicaragua.
We can't. Actually, Nicaragua weaponized Interpol through the use of red diffusion notices and put it out to a bunch of countries, and multiple countries have responded, or they did in February, that they would arrest us if we come there and extradite us to Nicaragua. So we know of 6 countries besides Nicaragua that have said, okay, we'll arrest them if they come here. And one of those most problematic for us is Mexico, because we have a big ministry footprint there. We have 2 children's homes. We've rescued over 2,000 children from human trafficking in the last 20 years. We're in probably 100 villages doing small rural village work, you know, Great Commission work and drug rehab work. It's like not convenient for us, and that's a concern for us. You know, we can't, my family, nobody in my family really should leave the United States. The State Department told us until we can get some of this unwound, So it's a problem, but the tip of our spear right now is our people that are in prison, and then we'll deal with some of these.
But just to go very quickly, we just got about 45 seconds left. This goes back to the success of the gospel going out and that being intimidating to the Nicaraguan government.
Correct. In 2023, as you stated, we had over 1 million people come to 8 mass evangelism crusades. In the last one in November, we had over 200,000 people in the capital city. We had 6,000 churches working together, 3,000 buses running, 10,000 volunteers.
That's enough to get the enemy upset, as if churches work together.
That's right.
And I'm talking about our spiritual enemy.
Yes.
You can't not look at this without seeing the spiritual side of it, especially when you go in Central and South America. The spiritual warfare is intense.
Yes, it is.
Britt, we continue to pray for you. Thank you for stopping by to update our listeners and viewers.
Thank you so much. God bless you.